Welcome to the channel. Today, I don't know, you guys can probably tell. I told you guys yesterday that we got some parts in the mail. Sorry, some of it's already installed because I had to wait for my GoPro to charge up. Today we're actually installing a oil cooler. This one actually, funny enough, is off this car here, which is currently our parts car. We've been robbing some things off her lately, which is okay. She's gonna be chilling for at least another month or two. So this thing needs it more than that does right now. So this is actually a Earl's? I think it's a... Dude, I got lucky.
You got lucky.
I got really lucky.
You're right on the gum.
I got really lucky. So
I got lucky too.
We just found out. Oh, Dan, you got the white.
Got the Daniels on it.
So I gotta clean that up. Damn it. Okay, well, right quick, I'm gonna show you guys what I have done so far because I've been trying to find a place to mount this whole relocate. Okay, so we're relocating the oil filter, and we are obviously putting oil cooler in. So I was so close to just slapping it on like the most convenient spot to do it. And sure, it would have been fine, but like I don't really want to see it in the engine bay. So I don't know if you can show them real quick, Ryan, but that's currently our setup. You might have to kind of dive in there for the light to adjust. But all I got to do is take off the nose piece and we have access to our oil filter. So it's easy to get to. I mean, just, you know, screw on, screw off, that whole deal. It's only on by one bolt, like the actual bracket, so it's a little bit wobbly, but that's kind of like the route that I think I'm going to go with. I just couldn't find a good spot to put it that was going to look clean, so I think with this we'll probably mount it maybe upside down. I don't want to do that right now, but somewhere along this area. So we got to maybe make a bracket up to here. That's actually kind of nice. And then this one we'll figure it out, but that's kind of the idea we got going on today. So that's kind of it, Ryan. We're just gonna get to work, man. All right, quick little update. So we emptied out all of the oil. That pan pretty much filled up. I had to do a quick little side maneuver and scoop some over to another pan, wherever that went. Still under the car. So I just also removed the existing oil filter. Now, as you guys can hopefully see, it's kind of tight up in here. But you see the AN fitting right there. We got two of them, and you can kind of see the adapter block that's, I guess, threaded on to the block itself. So that is all super snug. I mean, that should not be going anywhere.
Oh, you're pouring out oil. You're pouring out oil.
So now all I have to do is make up some lines. I'll actually kind of show you guys how we'll route it, but I'm gonna go ahead and make some lines real quick, get some measurements, and we are gonna continue to run the new filter, I guess, set up right in here. Which will be nice, you know, it'll be easy to get to and just kind of out the way. And then we'll have our cooler somewhere up in this area, but I just want to show you guys kind of the general idea. Again, this is like one of those eBay ones, but all the guys from H3 Logic run them. All right, so here is kind of the routing that you go for this whole setup. Hopefully you guys can make it out, but it's super simple. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself, guys. So I'm going to basically follow this exact thing. Actually they had this picture up on their ad on eBay, so let me show you guys which thing it was here. That's it right there. 25 bucks, free shipping. Come on, you can't beat it. This is turning out to be pretty nice, man. I'm pretty stoked to have an oil cooler. It's gonna be super nice. Make big differences, and we're just out here trying to make this thing more reliable, just all around like more efficient, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Keep the temps down. Oil coolers are huge on big turbo inline. I mean, especially for, I mean, any setup. If you guys have a big turbo anything, look into getting an oil cooler.
Dude, I got
this guy doesn't have an oil cooler.
I do.
You do? Yeah. Do you really?
Oh yeah, there's a little one.
Really?
It's weird, it like funnels through it.
Really?
You put the filter.
Is it actually like a core?
I
see.
And like coolant somehow cools the oil.
Yeah. That's kind of, he has a WRX. This kind of also had the same deal, like it uses coolant to kind of cool the oil, because oil is usually always about 20 to 40 degrees warmer than your coolant is. So this is, however, the most efficient way. This is a US made core. I think I got it off Summit or Jegs. I'll try to have all the info down below so you guys can just grab everything yourselves. It's a very budget but very, very good quality setup. It's not like a China core, which I hate to say it, Mishimoto is great and all, but like it is a China core. Like it is what it is. But this is actually made in the US. It's good. I think I forgot how many row it is, like a 16 or I don't exactly remember, but it's definitely good enough. You can't really hurt to go bigger, but yeah, that's enough talking. Let's go ahead, let's get back to work. All right, so here is the actual bit that your oil filter will now be going onto. So like I was saying, you guys can kind of see down in there, I kind of drilled and filed out that hole. It's way more flowy, I guess is the term now. It used to be kind of blocked off a little bit, and that's what Roberto was telling me to do, is just go ahead and Dremel out or drill out, whatever you guys want to do to open up that hole a little bit down there. Go ahead and do so, and just obviously make sure that you clean off all the shrapnel, I guess, you know what I'm saying? Also, we JB welded these red fittings in just to kind of obviously prevent any future leaks down the road. So I got one line made up. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of mock up some more. I'll actually show you guys how we make our AN lines really quick. I'm sure I've showed you guys before in the past, but for the new viewers and those that just don't know in general, so we're gonna go ahead and continue making up some lines. I got one done. We also have to figure out where we're gonna mount this cooler. So we'll do the lines, get the cooler mounted, and we'll be looking pretty good. We just had the bumper on, mocked it all up, and this is kind of the general location where it's gonna be. So we gotta go ahead and make a little bracket from here to here. Nice little aluminum bracket. This is also our fuse box. I think we'll go ahead and next part on the wiring cleanup will be kind of this, but obviously it's been great so far. In there, it's gonna be kind of tight, but I think once we have our fitting on it, it should kind of create the space that we need. Well, we got a little bit of a rain shower, but we're still in here, just working away. I actually got some progress for you guys. By no means are these brackets done, just kind of a real quick mock-up, and obviously we're gonna go ahead and shave them down and make them look all nice. But we got one all set to go right here, and I just made another one out of some angle iron, all aluminum by the way, just because it won't rust. We're gonna go in over here. If you guys can see, but we got that hole right there, and then this is gonna bolt up to the actual cooler on this side now. So the way I went ahead and figured out like where our hole is gonna be, because it's just got two little mounting holes. I don't know if you guys can make those out, one over here, one right there. I just bolted up our bracket and then took something sharp and just kind of traced out an outline underneath the cooler, and that would leave us with our little box right there. So that's kind of our general drill point when you guys are making brackets. It's pretty simple stuff. Just work smarter, not harder is the key. All right, so we got the bumper, well, kind of on. Obviously, it's not fully on, but I think we're gonna have to shave a little bit off the bumper in this corner. But as you guys can see, I mean, this is awesome. It just fills up this whole vent. Straight up oil cooler, which I think looks super, super tough. You got the intercooler, the oil cooler, and obviously now is it OCD? I don't know if it's OCD or not, but now I need something to fill that gap. But I don't know what we can put there. That's just kind of trans cooler, power steering cooler, but I mean, come on. But yeah, man, I'm really happy with how this is coming out so far. So now we're gonna go ahead and make up some lines, and we should be pretty much wrapping this up. Unfortunately, I don't have like an oil temperature gauge, but I remember in the 240, I used to run like on the highways, like 240-ish oil temp, and when I put the cooler on, I was down to like 190, 200. So it makes a really big difference, and that also was not as like direct air as this is gonna get. So this should make a massive difference. So I'm really excited about that. So hopefully this is something you guys want to do to your car too. I mean, it's super easy, really, really efficient, and your motor is gonna thank you for sure in the long run. So especially if you're beating on it, track days, drifting, drag racing, all that stuff, it's very, very crucial to have one of these. So we'll continue. I'm gonna show you guys how to make some lines, and we should be done here pretty damn soon. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I guess one thing I just want to mention really quick, it's not technically necessary. Man, I gotta clean this thing. I don't know why it's so dirty. Just go ahead and prime, I guess, the cooler if you'd like. It's just a huge air pocket. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just something that I like to do. I guess it's just good practice, just so you're not kind of waiting for it to fill all the air with the motor running. I'm sure it's not going to cause any damage or anything like that, but I don't know. It's just kind of a peace of mind type thing. So fill her up a little bit, and we're we're super close to being done. I'm pretty excited. We have like one more line to make. I just made our final line, well, second to last line right here. And we have one that was gonna go from this port on the cooler all the way to the sandwich plate on the block. So we're getting close, man. We're getting close. So it's coming out really well. I'm pretty happy on it. All right, guys, I just want to show you really quick how you would go about and making your AN lines. So when it comes to cutting them, you can use like a hand tool or something like that. I preferably like to use like a grinder. Just go ahead and get some electrical tape, wrap a little band around the seam of your cut. That way you don't fray and toss, I guess, fabric and nylon everywhere. That is only, I guess, if you have this nylon braided line. Makes a huge difference. So once you remove the tape, it might fray the edges. So go ahead and take a lighter and kind of burn the frayed tips. Sorry, I kind of took too many steps. I kind of got carried away here. So we got our part of the fitting on. It's kind of like a reverse thread. So you kind of have to like loosen it, turn it counterclockwise, and press in firmly. And slowly it'll make its way. They're kind of a pain sometimes, but just make sure you shove all the fabric inside of it and it should be all right. And then take your other piece and it's just pretty much screws right in. Now I probably should be doing this on a vise, but go ahead and just kind of get them nice and tight. And you want like a fingernail gap or two between the two pieces. You don't want them butted up against each other, but just a nice snug fit. All right, guys, so I will be honest, I mean, this is why like a big part of me really would like to have just like a daily or like something where we don't always have to rely on driving this car back home every day, because I would probably take a little more time with stuff, get this mounted a little bit nicer. I mean, it's fine. It's definitely fine. It looks fine. It works good. We are going to clean up these brackets and whatever, but just shave the corners down and make them look a little bit nicer. But yeah, like with me having to drive this home every night after I work on it, I kind of have to make sure I finish it. So we can't take as much time on stuff as we sometimes would like to, but honestly, Ryan, you have your phone? Actually, let me get my phone here. I'm gonna just get you some light. So we go down in here, and I gotta wipe all that oil up from the factory oil filter down there, but we have our lines coming in. I'm gonna actually zip tie them together so they look nice and clean. But that goes straight into our little block adapter on the block. And one comes in through down there. And kind of just they make their way out in here. So again, would love to make it a little bit nicer and cleaner. This whole like fuse box deal is kind of bumming me out. So we got to do something about that. But you know, it's kind of hard to dive deep into these things sometimes, because we need to drive this thing. So coming over here to show you guys the last part of it. You guys can see that whole setup. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's technically a little bit more like less convenient than having it in there, but at least now it's pointed upwards and won't make a mess. I don't know, I just didn't feel like tossing it somewhere in the engine bay. I'm sure I could have, and it would have looked all right, but at least this is more like a tucked type thing, if that makes sense. So we're gonna go ahead and fill her up with some Brotella, the T4. Was recommended that by all the boys down at HP Logic as well. They love this stuff, so we'll run it. That's pretty much it, man. We're gonna fill her up, fire it up, make sure we have oil pressure, which actually we will never actually properly know because I don't have a gauge. But we should be all right. What do you think, Ryan? You ready to send her?
Oh, dude, let's send it.
Let's give her some juice and we'll fire right up. All right, so I just filled up. I don't think I have enough oil in there. It might be like a quart short, because one of these was like half full, and I mean that's only like 3.75 liters, which I don't know why they don't have quarts. It just says 1 gallon, but they're saying there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So I mean, all right, never mind. All right, well, I guess moment of truth. I don't think I messed with anything but that stuff, so I guess let's give it to her, man. It is a little bit sketch just because I don't have an oil pressure gauge, and I mean I do. The car does. I'll show you guys right here. It has a factory one right there. So I'm gonna see if I can find a way to get it to work. But let's just see. Here we go. Well, she start first try. Oh yeah. No. Okay. Okay. Yes. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. Come on. This starter is toast. All it's alive. Is it knocking?
Oh, you're pouring out oil. You're pouring out oil. You're pouring out oil.
Where is that coming from? So it's pissing from here, dude. Oh my God. How much is, there's a lot down there. Oh my, dude. Oh man.
Okay, what did we learn?
We learned that we should probably test thread things under pressure prior to installation, Heavy D. That is what we've learned today. I completely forgot we had this, to be quite honest. Like, I totally forgot that we had this. So, here's a little, like, sleeve collar thing that goes in the block. We had this one in it. This is what we had in it, okay? So, you know, it does screw in, threads in, but it's not, it's on, but it's definitely not tight. So, even though I thought it was tight, it was actually very not tight. It was very loose. So we actually looked in the kit, and lo and behold, they have a different insert that actually has a really, really snug fitting. So that is where all of our oil just came out of. So let's go ahead and tighten this nut, and I guess we'll try again, right? That's the only thing we can do. Mistakes were made.
They were made.
You know what? We're fixing them. All right, so we are off to Walmart's because I need to get more oil. Go figure. Oh man, I can't believe I like overlooked such small of a detail, but you know what? That's just the way she goes. Now you guys know to make sure you go ahead and swap that little fitting over. But we're gonna go get some Earl and we'll be back. All right, here we are, attempt number 2. Heavy D, hang on, I got you. I'll trade you.
She's a little dusty.
A little dusty?
Yeah, man.
Is she?
I mean, I thought so.
No, she good.
Whatever.
She clean. What an evening, huh, bud?
Right. Oh my
Man.
gosh.
I guess just keep an eye out. Just like... Oh yeah. Come on.
Oh. See anything. Let me look underneath. Where it'd be more obvious. No, nothing.
Good?
Nothing's pouring out. How's these looking? How are these? How are these? What's up? What about in here?
Our homies are looking.
Everything's looking nice in here. Look back under here again because it took a couple seconds and then just start gushing out.
All right, well, it is 10:39 and you guys can't see the mod, which is kind of unfortunate, but there it is. There she is. I love the position, man. I love how it's just taking up the whole gap. Really, really stoked on it, actually. If anything, I don't know, I kind of maybe am a little upset that like the end of the core is like right there, so you can kind of see the difference in pattern, but I'm just being freaking picky at this point. So man, I mean, we don't have any more leaks. I'm gonna wipe that oil up right there. Shoot, man, I think we're good to go. So that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, man. A little bit of a mod on the Z. Have a lot more to come. We have our side skirts to be installed hopefully this weekend. Maybe I'll grab some paint tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm actually painting a Porsche Panamera for a dad's work buddy. So that will be pretty cool. I'll probably make a video on it, maybe not, I don't know. If you guys want to see that video, if you want me to film, just toss in the comments and I'll probably will. But that's it. Okay, there's some light, there we go. Hopefully you guys have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, peace.